This is considered the greatest discovery of all time.
No. Everybody knows that the greatest discovery of all time was when I realized you can make a mixed beverage in a can by putting a measuring topper on a bottle of spirits. Completely stealth alcoholism. Made my kids' school plays way more fun.
But now consider events in your internal or mental world.
Lol. Yeah, I did it. So what? You wanted me to actually enjoy myself for a few moments before you go on to pontificate about bullshit for the rest of the video? Okay, thanks, I guess.
I believe that God is almost impossible to miss.
Oh my god, that was horrible. Edit. What is with people that I cover and their complete aversion to reshoots? I get it that this shit takes time. I know I shouldn't complain. I mean, my non-existent God, at least there's editing, but damn. And you think God is almost impossible to miss. Okay, but, and hear me out, why do my RPG rounds keep going through the guy? I mean, he's supposed to be everywhere, so my firing wildly into the sky should have gotten him by now. Sometimes it's like he's not even there.
Have you ever tried climbing a staircase with broken stairs?
You think I use stairs? What do I look like to you, some sort of goddamn peasant? All the floors of all the buildings that I ever need to get into is done via the medium of crane or forklift. After they, of course, chop the side of the building off every single time. And for some reason, all those guys with the cars that say Eknal Ubma on them keep getting mad at me and tell me to lose some goddamn weight. But, you know, they're just jealous of how special and important I am.
Where did it all start?
Milton Keynes! Yep, one of the British towns of all time is where literally everything began. On a Tuesday at a fish and chip shop, someone put the cut-offs of the deep fried fish into a bread roll and boom! F***ing universe happened. Shit was pretty dope. Also, to my British peeps, what is another word for this kind of bread roll that will completely melt our international viewers' minds? I'll go first. This is a bomb cake.
What about Philippians 4:8?
What about it, Bob? What about Gringleflark X7? I can make up Bible passages too. Wait, that one's real? But what the hell is a Philippian? Sounds like some kind of super dolphin. Yes, I am very ignorant. Why do you ask?
This evidence that we've found not only contradicts that, but proves
evidence that we found. Oh, you had a part of it, did you? You didn't find shit. Your lot never find anything, really. Especially not these days, when scientists lean away from religious literalism like it's the smelliest guy on a bus with no aircon or working windows in the middle of summer on their way to a rank bastard competition.
You're standing still.
Yes, I am, but that doesn't mean that the Earth isn't moving. I mean, if I was sat down on a plane, would you say I was sat still? Or would you say I was jumping around the cabin, pooping in the halls and touching people's faces? No, because I'm sat still in the entirely hypothetical situation, because you're damn right I'm going to be completely obnoxious when trapped in a tube with other people. Can't have them wanting to talk to me.
Dinosaurs never existed.
Whoa, alright, calm down there, buddy. It's okay. No need to be so full on with that, because you know, it's really dumb. And the last thing you need to be doing is yelling about how stupid you are. And for those of you who are already typing up a storm about how this is too ridiculous to be real, I honestly thought the same on the first viewing of this video, because it gets wild in no minutes flat. But then something happened. The video was completely taken away from the guy's account, from his social media and all that jazz. And there's been no mention of its existence since. That's the move of someone who said something really stupid and got called out hard and needs to hide their shame before their mum sees it. You know, like how you all do when someone walks in and catches you watching a Sir Sic video instead of some nice wholesome porn.
A pigeon who just shits on my car and on my window is not extinct.
I mean, to be fair, did you actually do anything about the pigeon? No? Well, that sounds like that motherfucker is apex life form at this point. If anything, shits on you and your immediate reaction isn't to punt it into space because you literally can't, then that thing is not below you on the food chain. I tell you that much for free. And then probably poop on you from outer space.
Thought like blah blah blah, right?
Of course, the blah 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 argument that all atheists use all the time. Made famous by XX Atheism and Best Ever 69XX, one of the finest minds that atheismo has ever created. He also coined such greats as God doesn't real cause why my pee-pee small and theism and big dumb, so me and big smart. I think we can all agree that we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for this brilliant individual who we all agree with because of how smart we also are.
The oval is to indicate expansion in all directions.
Of course, that makes sense, because I am an oval and I expand in all directions all the time, because I really do like food. Soon I will eclipse the sun with my mighty belly, and the true dark ages will begin.
I will ask 2 questions to help establish that you do indeed believe you have a stream of consciousness, and that you do believe you will experience a future body.
Well, okay, we shall see how that works out. I always wanted a stream, not of consciousness though, more of a stream of booze that goes directly into my mouth and also skips my stomach and goes directly to the brain. I mean, I don't even know what this thing is for. Useless.
Assuming that they have identical properties, swapping these 2 molecules should have no effect on the universe.
The fact that you did it at all would have an effect. That's an action. It takes energy and some kind of will to do, it would seem. And if they are somehow swapping at random, how would anyone know that any of them swap? You see, there's so many questions, and your assumption, possibly quite intentionally, doesn't answer those, mostly because it makes it a whole lot harder to answer. And I am nothing if I am not going to be hard all the time. But that's a different problem between me and my doctor, and frankly, it's none of your business. I don't know why you even brought it up.
Can we really say that every single person in that, I mean, like, babies haven't done anything wrong? I mean,
haven't they? Have they not? I mean, look at that thing. There lies a stone cold killer of good times. Here I am on the bus trying to get very, very drunk, and that little fucking snot box will just not stop crying. It's not my fault I had to knock him off the pushchair so I could have a footrest.
Before I get into that, I have this article bookmarked for myself from Life Science. How many humans could the moon support?
Okay, that's a bit of a jump in topics, but cool. I'm all about it. How many humans could the moon support? Well, that's really interesting because it's actually exactly 0, because it turns out that if you send any humans to the moon, I'll fucking kill them. For absolutely no reason that is definitely nothing to do with my secret whiskey stash. No.
He cares when others walk away from our presence.
He cares when others walk away from our presence, does he? I mean, tell that to anyone who's had a parent walk out on them. I don't see God shooting down and saying, hey, fuckface, there's a kid back home expecting you to come back with milk and cigarettes. What is that poor kid gonna do when they find out that you didn't bring back their cigarettes, you piece of shit? Tragic tale as old as time.
I kept playing chess, and I soon found out that neither me nor my father were really very good. But I stuck with it, and I still play to this day.
And I still suck so hard at the game when I play against anyone even remotely competent at it. They are baffled by my constant illegal moves, and the fact that I call the knight the long dog face, the bishop a scale replica of my pee-pee, and the king hat guy.
The Bible even says that creation was formed in 6 days, and this fits exactly.
Except it doesn't. You just said that yours was 6 days for literally no reason. And even if it did match up with your circle bullshit, who says that's the correct shapely bullshit? Or that circles are even the correct magic space making shape? I mean, what about the rhombus of destiny? And if we copy-pasted a couple of times, what's that? Oh my god, can you see it? It's right there. W for whiskey. Clearly that is the meaning of life. Also, if I want to be an arsehole about it, I can put an S and an S for Sir Sic, so obviously that means that the universal whiskey belongs to me, by the supreme power of dibs.
Depicted sometimes as a tree.
Waitily waitressing. Are you telling me that the tree of life is sometimes depicted as a tree? What gibbering madness is this? You're acting like that tree is some kind of tree. That doesn't make no sense at all. Which is weird, because everything else you've said so far has been so down to earth and reasonable.
And a third, and a fourth. It's like putting a nail into a board. You don't just tap it once. You got to hit a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time to drive it in.
Only if you're a wimp, When I want to drive a hammer into a nail, I just look at it real hard and it puts itself in there because it fucking knows better. And yes, I did say hammer into a nail. That was not a mistake. I am just that much of a badass.
We naturally feel sadness and helplessness and often rage.
And then someone has a bad thing happen to them. I mean, what has the innocent got to do with the default and only emotions a person can feel? What do you mean there's more feelings than just those? No, you're right. There's also that one where you enjoy watching bad things happen to other people. Schadenfreude, I think they call it. You gotta love Germans and their need to have a word for literally everything. My favourite is, and forgive my pronunciation, Backpfeifengestickt, which is a face badly in need of a fist. Mostly because I think it every time I use one of those mirror things and I see that asshole on the other side. Fuck that guy.
Now, I want you to picture you, okay, during back at the days of the resurrection, okay?
Okay then, me back in the days of resurrection. Let me get into the mindset. Oh my God, someone please invent whiskey right now. I cannot bear this existence without it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't all that into it, my dude. Also, I got so much fucking sand under my helmet now. Oh my God, it really sucks.
Why is God hidden?
Well, there's some really obvious answers to that, most of them ending in, you know, 'cause he doesn't real. But let's take it for a sec and think of one good reason why a real God boy would be hiding. Well, isn't it obvious? It's because he's on the lam. God is a degenerate gambler, as evidenced by the Bible, and he got himself way too deep with the mob. So now he goes by Juan Sanchez, superpowered man about town. They'll never find him.
So there are lots of lines of evidence?
Oh yeah, I know, right? So many lines of evidence, and the more of them you do, the more real the Bible seems to be. I mean, the other day, I did so many lines of evidence, I could have sworn I saw the face of God. And you know what he told me? He told me to do even more lines of coke. I mean, evidence, definitely not cocaine, that I have been up all night doing. No.
Under the title, Atheists Become Emotionally Aroused When Daring God to Do Terrible Things.
That's fair. I become aroused when I dare God to do terrible things to me too. I do have a rich fantasy life after all. Hey, God, don't forget the padlocks, the chains, and the you-know-what next time we hang out. Oh, gets me tingling just thinking about it. We are gonna lock up my bike real good and protect it from the rain with a tarp. Wait, what did you think I meant? You goddamn perverts. Seriously, unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna go f*** that bike.
Unquenchable fire, Matthew chapter 3 verse 12. Shame and everlasting contempt, Daniel chapter 12 verse 2.
Unquenchable fire and shame and contempt. Well, I already have the second one in spades, and funny that the thing that it is something obvious and understandable to humans. It's a thing that we know about and not some incomprehensible Cthulhu shit. Almost like it's something made up. And now before you say it, you think Cthulhu isn't out there waiting to drive you all insane? Pfft, of course he is.
Most people do this because they think it is a charity thing, it's a good thing.
I wouldn't say it was a charity thing. No one thinks their death is charity. There isn't, as far as I'm aware, a charity that collects organs to give to, I don't know, kids who lost their parents, although Organs for Orphans does have a nice ring to it. And if you give them enough organs, they could become super orphans. Although, that does give me another idea. If I have all my organs donated to the same orphan, that's just an extra life for me. Brilliant. Where do I sign?
You know what else doesn't have a soul?
Everything, because souls don't exist. No, wait, I do tell a lie. Shoes have souls. No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not talking about the underside. I mean souls. Literally. They are conscious beings with a mystic force that inhabits them. And they fucking hate that we keep sticking our stinky ass feet inside them. I mean, why else would anyone wear them? It's all about that suffering, baby.
As if under a stupefying spell, many adult children steeped in confirmation bias
become flat earthers and genuinely believe that making memes that omit important details about what the person said count as evidence, and that if the experiments they do don't get the results they want, then they must be ignored, lest they admit they were ever wrong about their stupid fucking beliefs. Can't have that. We have books to sell.
Even to write, W-R-I-T-E, is a homonym of right, R-I-T-E.
Idiot. He doesn't even know how to spell right. Right is spelled RIIGGGHTTE Batman symbol. Right? Or does he mean the other right, as in Phoenix Wright, the greatest attorney that ever lived? When I have to say, objection! You spelt it wrong again, you damned fool.
Right and wrong exist, and it's not defined by us.
It's also interesting that you had to stick to humans there, isn't it? Because that's exactly what those ideas are. Human invention. And there's a number of scenarios where a creature with entirely different physiology and psychology would not even be able to comprehend how those things could be wrong, but are simultaneously disgusted by the fact that we eat in public, and yet don't crap in open air communal shit pits, hand in hand with our neighbours, like a bunch of fucking savages.
When most of us look at murder and genocide, we know that these are truly evil.
Picking on them is cheaper than paying to go to the zoo to watch monkeys.
I'm sure you've said that before, and it still makes no sense. I mean, what you should be doing is climbing in the cage and convincing them of God Almighty, and how if they throw their poop at you, Jesus will come down and smite them all to hell. And after they savagely beat the shit out of you, which they will then of course throw at you as well, you can rest assured that you came out on top in that altercation, and they only did it because of how right you always am. And then you should go see the monkeys. I have some news for you. Humans are special. I mean, you don't get to be the worst thing ever and something else be the worst thing ever too. No, it's just you guys. Well done. You did it.
There is no case known, neither is it indeed possible, in which a thing is found to be the efficient cause of itself.
I don't know, I cause myself all the time, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, usually when the missus goes out or is in the other room, or is momentarily distracted by a passing bird. And no, wait, I realised we are talking about completely different things. Never mind.
I remember once on a radio program an atheist called up and said, I'm an atheist, and if you believe brothers married sisters, that's immoral.
I mean, I bet he didn't say it like that. I bet it was way more nuanced and probably referenced the scientific understanding of the good reasons people shouldn't marry their siblings. Also, I need to address the marry on so many levels. First off, when he says married, what he actually means is fucking pounded it over and over and over and over again with their sweaty, naked bodies. And second, so much of the marriages in the early Bible are just, and they're married now, with no ceremony, nothing at all, fuck you. Which screams a couple of things to me. Either they weren't real marriages because you didn't do all the spells and incantations that we now see as so necessary for a marriage to be real, or that shit isn't necessary at all, meaning anyone could be married because they fucking say so it's kind of meaningless anyway. Also, still a euphemism for fucking.
At the time of Moses, God brought in this law that no longer could close relations marry.
You know, for some reason I thought God never changed his mind, because it's funny that once you get to the time periods where, while the stories are still largely make-believe, their settings are actually set around things that actually happened, like civilizations that existed, etc. And they would understand that maybe they shouldn't marry their brother's brains out so much. So God instead said, you know what? Since you humans think it's bad, now I do too. Peer pressure. Sometimes it means God won't make you fuck your sister. Yeah! Many people, when asked, how would you rate your life, would say, yeah, it's pretty good, it's going well. Things make sense to me, like my friends, family, job, or what have you. Others would indeed say that their life seems very difficult and they struggle to understand why. But many others would just stare at you and say, it's fine, whatever, there's more important shit to worry about. Don't you know that Sir Sic is going to kill us all if we don't keep him drunk? Everyone back to the whiskey mines now.
How does this make them feel, I ask? They tell me it causes them anxiety and even depression.
Pfft, what a bunch of wimps. It should make them angry. That's the one and only true emotion. I mean, think about it. If someone tells you something that makes you feel bad, get angry and scream about it. That'll scare them off and stop them telling you things that make you sad. If someone tells you that they won the lottery, get pissed, start throwing things. In the chaos, they may drop the ticket, and then you got yourself a winning lotto number. Someone offers you a free muffin, punch that muffin. They will think you don't know how food works and offer to feed you for the rest of your days. Anger. It's the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. There being things that we don't know yet is not a sad thing. It's actually extremely exciting, because as a great man once said,
Well, science knows it doesn't know everything, otherwise it'd stop.
And I could not have said it better myself, without a machine gun and a bunch of fireworks. Then I would have said it way better, and it would have been fucking awesome.
We can't weigh him like we can a 5-pound bag of potatoes.
Which suggests that we could weigh him if he were a 6-pound bag of potatoes. Also, at least the potatoes, do things. In fact, the potatoes at least contribute to many of the things that religion would claim is actually God's doing. I mean, they keep people alive, they form the building blocks of other people, so could contribute to making babies. Hell, they can even produce electricity, so effectively they have good old lightning powers. And all of that is achieved while also fucking existing. That is potato 4, God nil.
We can't put God under an electron microscope to prove what he looks like on an atomic level.
I mean, I tried, but he just started getting pissy with me. Sir Sic, stop crushing me down into a slide. Sic, I don't like being bombarded with electrons. Sic, when's it my go on the whiskey? Shut up, God. I'm trying to science.
The brave knight defeated the fire-breathing dragon.
Oh, that one. Yeah, well, little known fact, that story is actually about me. And it wasn't that I slayed a dragon, it was that I laid a dragon. Sir Sic the dragon fucker, they used to point and laugh at me while I was at night school. No, not as in a school for nights, a school at night. It was like 10 years ago, and come on, I needed the money for night school.
He rode off with the beautiful princess and they lived happily ever after.
I wouldn't exactly call Mrs. Sic a princess, but I do think that she's beautiful. I mean, look at that sexy ass face. So hot. Although strangely familiar. It's like looking in some kind of reflective surface and seeing a sexy thing.
So let's dive into this. Let's jump into dragons.
Oh, well, I've got to warn you, as an expert on jumping into dragons, they don't really like it when you, dive into them. You gotta romance those big scaly bastards first. Really show them you care about them. And then you can dive into them for a night of hot, fiery passion and also sex.
Why does God let any bad things happen? Because we deserve it.
You hear that, newborn babies who don't even have the faculties to even comprehend what is happening to them, let alone make any choices in the matter? You fucking deserve any and all bad things. Dude, you sound psychotic. And here's an argument. Religion makes people say horrendously evil shit without even trying. I'm jealous. I try so hard to be evil, and you got it over me in spades.
So there is no contradiction between good science and good faith. So anyways, back to our story.
Okay, whatever. Again, it's not like that actually meant anything, but ho-hum. I hope you stay focused for the rest of the video. I mean, you are distracting enough as it is, with that chiseled chin and those eyes. No, I do not have a boy crush on Buffington Godman. There's a lot more to religion than just, it's this one thing and this one thing only. That's why people who call it a mental illness get on my nerves. A, you can be perfectly in control of your mental faculties and be wrong, and more importantly, you can have any number of mental health issues while still being fully capable of distinguishing fact from fiction. So conflating religion with such is just fucking insulting. And if you have ever done so, stop, or I will fart in every enclosed space before you visit until the day you die, which won't be long, because those things are hella toxic. Please note, this is a fucking joke. I have absolutely no intention of killing anyone with farts. That would involve going outside and sharing my precious ass with anyone, and they just don't deserve its majesty.
You divide your board in half like this. On one side you write the word God.
Well, of course you do. I mean, that's what I do. And on the other side, I of course write whiskey, and then I list all the things that each of them have done for me. God has done, well, we'll come back to that one. Whiskey has made me put up with idiots like this. It's given me good times. Hell, it even helped me to meet Mrs. Sic. So in that regards, whiskey literally helped me get a family. And let's try God again. I guess he causes the idiots that I need the whiskey to deal with. So, thanks?
It's in from Albury, Wodonga.
Oldbury Wodonga. I don't want to sound ignorant, it just kind of happens, but you can't deny so much of Australian towns sound like they're making up names on the spot. Wallowa and Bendigo and all that jazz. Why can't they have proper sensible town names like Cockermouth and Shitterton? No, I'm not making those up. And personally, my favourite is Fingering-Hoe. I can't believe we are allowed to be a real country sometimes.
I wanted to report that I survived the Otis hurricane.
Oh, so that's when this is from. Okay, I mean, awesome. I'm glad to hear it. As much as I find the things you say bafflingly insane, I genuinely hope that no harm comes to you, and I find it really baffling when I get commenters on my channels saying, "Oh, I want to punch this person," or "I wish bad things would happen to X." I mean, come on. Unless that person personally shat on your face, there really is no need for that kind of bullshit. You tell them they're wrong, and that perhaps they're even a bit dumb, and then you go and you get on with your life. There is way too much hate in this world already, and it's mine. I'm using it all to hate all of humanity, and you aren't allowed to have it.
Either we will let the Bible speak to us, or we will speak to the Bible.
I don't know, man. I don't really tend to talk to inanimate objects. And when they start talking to me, that just means I've had too much whiskey, or not enough whiskey, or the right amount of whiskey. It's kind of screwy like that.
Lying, stealing, adulterous at heart.
Okay, but those aren't God standards, they're Ray's standards. And again, about the twisting shit, the adulterous thing. I would imagine the vast majority of people just don't really cheat on each other. But with Ray's bullshit definitions, TM, he makes talking about your buddy's wife's great big voluptuous homemade cookies and thinking, "I wish I had cookie wife." It's basically the same as fucking her on his desk while he and their children and their grandma and their sweet baby Jesus look on in confused horror. I mean, what is the bucket of marshmallows even for? And oh, gross.
So they'll think they're good because they're like everyone else, but who's the standard of goodness?
Me, and that's why they all fail. I can't help it that I'm so much better than everyone else, and I'm freaking awful. That's why they are the worst. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them with an iron fist. Oh wait, no, this is a leather glove. Shit, where did I put my iron fist? Ah, there it is. Do as you're told.
The seal can jump into water and sense where a fish was 35 seconds ago.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool. The ability to tell where something was, and thus I also assume where it's likely going to be, I guess. I mean, it would suck if all it could do is know where something was and never where it actually is, with no way to even tell if it had stayed there for ages. Like how whenever I want my whiskey, I go to where it was, and somehow there's only an empty bottle there. Some handsome bastard keeps drinking all my damn whiskey.
That's how a lot of their brainwashing goes.
You think that people are brainwashed with the Z is for zebra type thing. So, like, apples are fake? Because why would they just waste any of the letters on things that actually exist? What else must be fake? I mean, oh look, there's houses. That's actually one of Hans's. And magic, well, that actually is fake, so, you know. And then there's video. No, wait. God damn it, not again. Doesn't even make sense. I'm still here. Let me just go bribe my ISP again.
I was in prayer, and Jesus Christ appeared to me in a human form.
Prayer? So you were in bed, I assume? I mean, I hope you aren't actually one of those people using the rest of their house at night. That's not what it's there for. So, in bed, eyes closed, probably pretty relaxed, and then Jesus. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but I have an idea of what might actually have happened. But you know, we'll be saving that for later.
There was a brilliant light came into my bedroom, and when the light cleared up, there stood Jesus.
See, isn't it obvious? We all know what I was thinking. She was Dralians. It was obviously aliens. Bright light, mysterious figure looms over you. It couldn't be more obvious, really. She was abducted, and then a guy disguised himself as a random hippie for some reason. Look, it makes more sense than the literal son of God. And I don't even mean because, you know, aliens would be something that could actually exist, but because why the fuck is he appearing to this random dipshit? If Jesus is hanging out with anyone, it should be me. He still owes me a night out since I spent all that silver to get him absolutely hammered that one time.
An adult pig has a higher intelligence, like a higher IQ than a newborn baby.
Eat the baby. I'm sorry, I didn't even let him finish the question, but whatever it is, the answer to any questions involving babies is to eat the baby. Like if your friend asks you what you think of their newborn crotch goblin, it would be rude not to eat an offered snack. In fact, I think it's the answer to most questions. Who do you think is the most influential musician of the Eat the Baby? In fact, I think it could really be the answer to all of life's problems. How do we solve the current economic and social Eat the Baby?
It is known today that the periodic table of elements is also relative to these shapes.
That seems unlikely. In fact, that sounds completely made up. Elements are various combinations of atoms that go from extremely simple, like lithium, to pretty complicated, like plutonium. And no, just because this image is covered in distinct points, that doesn't mean that you get to take a fucking Sharpie and say that it contains the tringle of hope, or the cuboid of crippling depression, or the mysterious hexagon of horny. Number 21. If a monkey gave birth to a man... Wait a fucking second. Number 21. What happened to the rest? What is going on with this shit? Oh god, I think the writer of these points might be an idiot. What? I've already been paid for my services? Fuck. But now everyone will think that I'm the moron. Oh well, who would he or she mate with? God damn it, they can't even numbers. How do I get stuck with these terrible jobs? I mean, you one monkey. Number 19. Why would a man have sex with a monkey? I mean, I made a joke about it earlier, but that really does sound like projection. Have I ever had sex with a monkey? Why would a man want to have sex with a monkey? That's never happened. When I'm all alone at night, thinking about their hairy bodies and their weird hand-like feet and their... Oh, God! And I'm done.
When did Jesus say, in quotes, I am not God?
Okay, regardless of how little I give a shit about the initial point, that's a freaking awful rebuttal. Like, seriously, people very rarely say, I'm not cheese. Does that make them cheese? Wait a minute, let me check. Inconclusive. I mean, it could be cheese, but just like really red and warm cheese that tastes a bit like copper. It turns out that the universe is the way it is because systems will inevitably balance out. What you see as order is just what happens when something has been happening so long that all the forces have reached equilibrium. No one put anything where it ended up. Nothing is in some sort of supposed to be location. That's just what happened. Like, think of it this way. If I sat there pouring humans out of a bucket, as you do, into a big pile, eventually I'm going to run out of bodies and the pile is going to take its shape, whatever that happens to be. Now, would you say I designed that pile of humans, or that I am the world's best mass murderer? Exactly. And I'll take my award whenever I lose these cops who keep harassing me for some reason.
It's the price you need to pay in order to...
Space is not the iron price. Oh man, I just disappointed myself. That show was so good, and then they fucked it all up by not letting Tommy Wiseau write the last episodes. Come on, don't tell me that shit would not have been better if it had gone like this.
Prominent families often forget a simple truth. I've found.
And which truth is that?
Our model far better explains the data.
Far better? Cool. I mean, that means your model will be extremely good at predicting things, right? You will and should have already essentially guessed certain scientific findings before they happened, right? And not that evolutionary biology does that, proves it, and then you stumble in drunkly on its coattails and scream, "That was our idea! You just stole it before we could come up with it!" Just like me and my mate Steve. It was me who invented apples, not him.
You know how you look, you know, let me explain.
That you do.
Oh my god, we found him, guy. He's that kid, but all grown up. Nah, that's not fair. I mean, that kid was way more fucking coherent than anything CC has ever said. I'm sorry, I apologise. Completely uncool of me for even to compare the two. I mean, one of them is a child talking complete nonsense, and the other is that kid.
Back in 2020, I put out a video on my BitChute channel titled Vice Rhino Attempts to Debunk Chris Ashcraft by Appealing to Circular Reasoning.
Excuse me, don't you be bringing Vice into this. Not that I'm bothered about you impugning his integrity or any of that shit, but this video is about me, and I will thank you to keep it that way. It's trying to hurt my big boy feelings up in here, damn it. I will not be ignored.
Mark chapter 4 in the New Testament.
Oh, I actually know this one off by heart. And lo did God protest. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. And there was much rejoicing, and God did lobbeth the bottle across the rooftops, and people think atheists don't read the Bible.
The most obvious example is God is referred to as he.
Instead of shithead, a thing the guy actually is. Not because of any of the biblical nonsense, that's all made up. No, the real crimes committed by Jod are far more sinister and frankly, outright disturbing. God once confused my glass for his and accidentally took a sip of my whiskey. I know, a greater crime has never been committed. And that's why I'm an atheist now. So I can take him down and make him not exist somehow because of how much I rightfully hate the fucker. As all atheists who definitely believe in him do.
Take care of yourself, others, and nature.
I would say that I don't have much of a problem with that one, and then I thought about it for more than a second and I thought, fuck nature, going around growing shit like it's its job. Fuck others, those are people and they are literally the worst. And they won't even turn off their own electromagnet boys so they get properly Thanos'd. And most of all, fuck me. Take care of that guy. That guy doesn't even care about other people or nature. What a complete piece of shit. And he keeps eating fast food and getting fat. I'm pretty sure he's doing that just to spite me.
Be kind and generous.
I don't know about kind, I'll share my kindness with who I want. Some people don't fucking deserve it. But I tell you what, I am generous. More generous than you can possibly imagine. I once let someone smell my whiskey. Precious atoms of the stuff. Just given away like it was nothing. But none of you can claim to have done anything so utterly selfless. Of course you can't, because you are all worse than me in every single possible way, obviously.
Be forgiving.
No, why the fuck should I forgive the people who have wronged me when they get to carry on their petty little shithead lives, almost certainly completely oblivious to the damage they've done? No, don't forgive, don't forget, plot. Don't hold grudges either, harbour them, wait for the perfect time, and then boom, piss through their letterbox. It's the perfect crime. I mean, you'll definitely get caught, but now they have piss on all their junk mail. Take that, Steve.
The whole way up. Just keeps on coming up at eye level as high as you're going to go.
I think we all know just how high you are. I mean, you've got to be constantly, completely stoned off your tits in order to believe this shit. And I ain't mean like getting crunk for the weekend high. I'm talking about the kind of high where shit starts getting scary and you vow to never do that much of all injecting the pot again. AKA one toke of a marijuana cigarette. At least that's what McWoof the Fun Wolf told me. And are you going to deny that face? Eh?
Can you guys imagine being married to me?
What a way to follow up a great big picture of yourself with your name scribbled across it as the intro to your show about your opinions with a massive budget. One assumes you might be a little bit insufferable to be married to, if that's what you do for a living. And yes, I understand that I also have a show with my name on it that is about my opinions, but you do got to bear in mind that I certainly don't have a big budget. What, you think this is a real set of armor? I'm not even a real person. This is just a cardboard cutout. And if you want to know what it's like to be married to me, well, just ask Mrs. Sic. She will tell you that we aren't married. Not sure how that answers that question, but it's certainly one of them.
Like my poor husband, he rolls over, he's like, "What are you reading?" And I feel like a regular wife says something, I don't know, maybe a love series, Nora Roberts, sweeping her away.
Well, Mrs. Sic would say The Plague by Albert Camus, a shockingly cogent story about the various ways people react to being in a large quarantine, with a bit of existentialism thrown in for good measure, although she has finished that now and is looking for something else similarly depressing to read. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I can't imagine her turning over and being all like, "Oh my god, this story is so hot. Why don't you ever take me to Paris for a weekend getaway?" To which I would turn to her and then fall over again. Cardboard cutout? I don't have any money.
If God is that than which nothing greater can be thought, then God must be omnipotent, omnipresent, all-loving, and completely sufficient in himself.
Fun fact, all of those things are presuppositions from some form of subjective greatness, especially all-loving. Who says the greatest thing needs to love anything? And what makes that better in the greatness scale than all-hating or all-indifferent? Because you prefer it? Who died and made you the arbiter of greatness? No one, because I'm not fucking dead, and it's whiskey, obviously.
And whoever says to his brother, "You good for nothing,"
will be guilty in the high court.
Really? I mean, if that's the actual words that he used, that is the softest shit in the universe. But fuck me, even if that was like the worst thing you could possibly say, aside from the fact that it is never true, there isn't a human alive that would not make for excellent whiskey compost. It's also not something that anyone uses and actually means. They just mean you're an asshole and you're probably lazy. And to be frank, if someone's being a lazy asshole, I think there are far more cutting things you could say than good for nothing. I would go with, you discount Sir Sic.
Oh, fuck you, Sic. But have you ever been to a planetarium, period?
No. Why would I want to? I can't even imagine what that would be like. In fact, I didn't even know buildings could have periods. That just seems biologically impossible. You know, because they aren't biological. Are they? Are they? Oh my god, new conspiracy theory unlocked. Planetariums are alive and have reproductive organs. Is that where baby satellites come from?
You know what? You know what you young people need to do?
Oh god, no. Is he suggesting what I think he's suggesting? I've never heard such a despicable suggestion in my entire life. I believe that this man is saying that we should play sports. Doesn't he know that shit's outside? What kind of diabolical bastard would even think to imply doing such a thing? My god!
The impact of his life on the world and the transformation of his followers add weight to the claim of his divine nature.
Not really. They prove that a religion happened. And depending on what you mean by transformation and followers, well, again, that could just be shit that is made up. Or could mean, you know, a religion happened. Because religions make people change their lives in all sorts of ways. I mean, are the ones that aren't yours also true? I would imagine you would say no, of course not. Same apples. Shit, I mean applies. There are no apples. No, go away, they're mine.
Our little friend here can only be objectively correct if there's a supreme authority that says cannibalism is bad. And that supreme authority is what we would call God.
Oh shit, that's even worse than I expected. It's just objective morality proves God because God is real and makes objective morality. If that argument was any more circular, it would be a fucking pizza. A delicious, delicious baby pizza. Nom nom nom.
Will show not only how atheism kills people,
with our problems. We already established that. Now, all we have to do is figure out if atheism forces people into unhealthy lifestyles, or if it's more of a Death Note thing. I mean, most of the big old book of atheism is just blank pages. It only needs one, and it says, God don't real probably. So let's just try writing down a random name here. There we go. See? Nothing happened. Whoops.
So what is Will's brilliant idea? What is his ingenious experiment to finally silence all globe skepticism?
Well, I don't know about his, but I'll tell you mine. First, I'll get really, really drunk, and then I'll forget what I'm doing, and then I'll wander off and fight a bear. Sure, it won't actually prove shit, but at least I'll either be dead, or I'll have a fancy new rug that I fucking earned. None of this shooting animals on safari shit. No, I respect any hunter that can take down like a tiger with their bare hands, which you'll already have from killing the bear, because reality would be so much better if it worked like a video game, where dead things are full of loot instead of all the blood and guts they normally have inside them. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to craft out of this shit?
Something that comes to mind a lot is
I didn't even edit that to make him sound stupider. It's just a gift he has. And well, you know, he is himself a gift that we can't return no matter how much we lie and say we just got him, but the receipt was in the bag, I swear. Please, I don't even want money or store credit. Just take him back for the love of atheismo.
I'm asking an atheist a question.
Are you? I'm sorry, but the whole how do you know someone's an atheist, they'll tell you, that shit doesn't work if they're asleep. Atheists don't snore like goddamn cartoon characters going, God isn't real. What a load of toss. Existence is ultimately meaningless. Nom 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 baby sandwich. No, that's just me.
When you see something beautiful or nice or something that you like, your heart, out of excitement, beats faster. And God is asking us, where is your heart beating after? What is it beating after?
It's beating after to not die, but specifically for things that make your heart race. It's generally to get the blood flowing so that you can do something. For scaredness, it's so that you can either fight or run away. And for things that you like, it tends to be so that you can either eat it or fuck it. So which is it for God? Both, or you're doing it wrong.
Because I'm so monumentally successful, they know they can't control me.
No, they don't like you because you're an arse. It has nothing to do with control. In fact, the vast majority of people, women or men, don't have any interest in controlling their partners. They want a, you guessed it, partner, an equal in this really goddamn hard game called life. I think what you're probably confusing with control is requests to not be so fucking awful all the time. They ask you to maybe stop doing something and you're like, no, I will not stop shitting while I'm in the bath. I like the way the brown chunks feel between my fingers, toes and teeth. Stop trying to control me, Mum.
This video today is specifically about a post that I made on social media several days ago.
Okay, getting into it. Cool. What did you say? Let me guess. Hail, fellow fuckwits. Today, whilst jerking off, I realised that I am even more betterer than everyone than I thought. You should give me money, either by buying some bullshit that I wrote, or throwing infinite money down the great big pit known as services that cost way more than something that actually does something whilst providing none of the benefit, whilst pretending it does do that, instead of just being crowdfunding with extra steps and lies.
John Calvin said, when God wants to judge a nation, he gives them wicked rulers. And that is exactly where we are today.
Wait, so this isn't even because thunder and storms and hurricanes. This is because right now, for now, you have leaders that you don't like. That's God's wrath. That's fucking pathetic. Imagine that being the punishment for freaking anything. How weak is your God that he can't even make his punishment last for more than a few years at a time? And also that people get to choose it for some reason. And wait, that means that God made those people vote for the Democrats. I'm pretty sure that's election interference. I think God needs to go to jail.
What we mean is that it's moving.
Oh no, everybody get down. The Bible keeps, it keeps profounding about. Just, get your heads down and I think you'll be fine. Fucking hell. Who let such a profound thing loose? This is just profoundly irresponsible. Get it? Ow! Fuck.
When you make a phone call or send a text message, you can only do so via language.
Actually, when I text Mrs. Sic, it's a series of random punctuation and ambiguous emojis. And don't even get me started on when I call her.
Hello? Sure, how much do you want? Okay, 10 bottles of whiskey. Anything else? Not until your birthday.
Honk.
And we're told that God declared that the creation at the end of the sixth day was all very good.
Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? The narcissistic fucker. And who can blame him? I mean, everybody loves things they make. I made my kids with a small amount of help from Mrs. Sic, and I think they are fucking awesome. Best kids ever, 10 out of 10, no notes. Unless I want them to tidy their bedroom. And then suddenly, I just can't understand where I went wrong. I mean, they won't even use flamethrowers to do it or anything. Who are you people?
Take millions of years and add that to the Bible. To do so, one would have to reinterpret the Bible's clear account in Genesis.
Yeah, do that one, because if you take it at face value, it's so obviously wrong. So if you must believe in the Bible, for fuck's sake, don't think of it as even remotely literal, otherwise you have to deny reality as it sits there smacking its ass in front of you. And then you'll be really confused as to where your massive hard-on came from. Or wide-on for the ladies.
And it ain't nothing you can do about it.
I think you will find there's plenty I can do about where the sun rises and sets. All I have to do is give the earth a little push and, whoops, shit, never mind. It was like that when I got here, officer, I swear.
Now, who can guess what point I want to make.
Oh my goodness, I do not know how to feel about that shit-eating grin. From one angle, you could say that it's almost delightfully childish. It makes him look like a kid who has discovered a jar of infinite cookies. But from another angle, it looks like the teethy grin of a witch who has just seen a small human reach into the fake jar of unlimited cookies that they put out as bait for unsuspecting idiot juveniles. Comment now which you think it is, and you'll get a chance to reach into my infinite whiskey jarro. Come on.
You know you want to.
God knows his own, man, and he knew I wouldn't talk to this man. I was a shallow, vacuous, empty vessel. I really was.
And then God poured his magic liquid into you, and now you are cum. You're full of cum. I hate to tell you this, but that is what he was doing behind that dumpster when you asked for his help. He is a monster.
What I didn't know about him was he was a fundamentalist Christian, and I didn't know that. And we're sitting on the fairway one day just talking.
And that's where you really fucked up. Talking to people, that's how they get you. Next, they'll want you to be in their wedding and then meet their friends. And you have to pretend not to be a giant misanthrope. And it's a whole mess. Better to just lock the doors and threaten passers-by with a super soaker filled with coyote piss. It's the American way.
And we're talking about life, we're talking about this, we're talking about that. And then he brings up the Bible. And I said, don't give me the Bible, I don't want to hear the Bible. And he says, what do you mean? And I said, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in that garbage.
Damn, the most reasonable thing that you have said all video. A 21 super soaker filled with coyote piss salute to you, good sire. You earned it. If you find the idea of torturing your parents kind of funny, you might enjoy my and Mrs. Sic's awful stream each and every Monday, 9 PM GMT, cause it is basically torture too. And if you want more of my smexy voice, Spoon Stuff Stories, Mrs. Sic's animated show, voiced entirely by my sexy self. Go check it out now. Midnight sun, won't you come and wash away the floods? Midnight sun, won't you come? Won't you come all over my tits?